Allan, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate you for coming on.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here.
When one hears artificial intelligence, one thinks something higher being. I know, but how, when you think about it, it thinks about all of this, intelligence that it has that can do better than a human sometimes. That's a misconception that we have about AI. But none of that also comes to mind is its threat to, to cybersecurity, right? So I'm going to ask you, how is AI currently being utilized to enhance threat detection and response in cybersecurity frameworks?
Okay, thank you. AI is not only changing the cybersecurity field, but also the world as we know it. For us as security professionals, we are leveraging AI to help us in automating of threat detection. Thereby freeing us up to do other complex tasks. So with enhanced threat detection, AI can actually analyze vast amounts of data so that they can be able to identify anomalies as well as predict potential threats, what we call predictive analysis. And this allows us to do more things and actually respond faster to these particular threats. It also helps us as cybersecurity professionals to do what we call automation of security tasks, intelligence gathering, vulnerability scanning. By vulnerability scanning, I mean looking for weaknesses in the systems that we protect, as well as responding to these incidences. However, on the flip side, as you have said, malicious actors are using the same techniques we are using to actually look for these vulnerabilities and exploit them faster than we can actually patch them. So cyber criminals will actually automate their vulnerability scanning, looking for vulnerabilities or weaknesses in systems, and using the same AI to come up with bespoke malware. By malware, I mean this is software that will take advantage of the weaknesses so that they can get money or just spread malicious havoc in any organization.
So Juma, let's try and deconstruct some of the jargon that we are talking about here today for people who don't really understand. Cybersecurity, what do you guys do exactly? What are you protecting? I know it has to do with, the internet or the use of it or it as a pathway, but what exactly is cybersecurity? And then you can explain how AI plays into it.
Okay, cybersecurity. I will use this analogy. In any building that you try to enter nowadays, you'll find there's a security guard, right? Basically, that is what cybersecurity is all about. Preventing guys who do not have legitimate access to your data from accessing your data. We are basically internet watchmen, to put it in a very layman time. So we protect guys from coming in unauthorized. So to your second part of your question, we use artificial intelligence to help us prevent people who want to enter our systems without any authorization, and also they are trying to use advanced weapons. So all of us, both the bad guys and the good guys, are using advanced weapons. In this case, AI, artificial intelligence. Maybe you can also define what artificial intelligence is. Basically the automation of tasks that require human intelligence, such as learning, problem solving, and decision making. And this is exploded to even to a million times over what the natural or the normal human being can do. I hope I have broken it down so that everybody will be able to understand what it is.
I think you have, and therein we have more questions when you put it like that, because it seems like here and now there is a certain over-reliance on AI for everything. Even your ChatGPT, you can just simply tell it what you're trying to say and it's going to construct a very incredible piece for you. The same thing with what's happening with cybersecurity. You're relying on AI to actually give you frameworks that can help secure information or data. So also is your opponents, the guy who's trying to break in. So this over-reliance on AI, isn't it in itself a problem?
Well, it is not just a problem in cybersecurity, but as you rightfully said, in any particular field. In your field, for example, there has been a lot of hue and cry about individuals who are losing their jobs because of, I can write a book in an hour because of AI. Now, when you look at it from our perspective, it is actually more dangerous because any person who has access to internet can actually go and use ChatGPT, Google, Gemini, and say, help me come up with a specific exploit that will attack central TV, and they will actually be able to do it. So there is an over-reliance in terms of we do not want to do the over-reliance on the malicious actors, and is that even people who are not skilled can actually pull off successful attacks because they're using AI to help them. However, for us who are a bit experienced, it will help us now detect such attacks, because the attacker may not have the basic knowledge or the foundational knowledge to actually custom make, because not everything that comes from the AI models is fit for consumption or is as exactly as you want it to do. You have to tailor make it. So when we use AI as the good guys, we are able to detect such poorly written code because of AI and lack of customization to detect that these are generated attacks and stop them even further. So for us, it's not really over-reliance, but it is actually helping us defend and show up our defenses much more better.
So can you provide some examples where AI has successfully prevented cyber attacks that traditional methods might have missed?
Okay, I'll give you an example. In Ghana, there was an attack that was leveraged against the energy sector, and this was done through, earlier on I alluded to this, what we call DDoS, distributed denial of service. This happened also in Ghana, in the energy sector, as well as here in Kenya. What happened is now malicious actors try to send a lot of traffic to a particular website, more traffic than the website can handle, and this crashed that particular website. Now, to defend that, use what we call web application firewall that will be able to identify such malicious threats that are trying to be evasive or are trying to be camouflage. And in thus doing, even though the websites were down for a number of hours because of the additional help from AI, these particular two countries, both Ghana and Kenya, were able to identify the source of this malicious traffic, prevent it, and ensure that it does not happen again. And unfortunately, it is just a waiting game, because even though we are hoping it won't happen again, it will definitely happen again. It's a matter of when and not a matter of if.
And what about our financial systems? In Nigeria, in Ghana, in Kenya, you also talked about News Central being attacked, but hopefully not. Don't give anybody ideas. But when it comes to our financial systems, we actually use a lot of these cybersecurities to help ward off threats. How big of a threat are we warding off when it comes to financial systems in general? In Kenya, there is, I think, there is a number code that we also use here. Can those be cracked?
Somebody once said, even if I put my phone in a vault and I put security guards around it, even then I'm not too sure that nobody will get access to it. So as I said, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So Africa is a digital giant. We are a roaring lion in terms of cybersecurity and also mobile money or fintech. I'll take you back to, I believe it was last year or 2023, whereby Flutterwave, they had a cybersecurity breach that caused billions, people say billions of nairas were stolen. These things are happening in our day and age. However, we also have young people who are hungry to actually protect their investments, protect their futures. Can the codes be cracked? Definitely. It's only a matter of time. But again, with a lot of awareness, as you are doing right now at News Central, people are learning about these techniques and how to protect them, and thus reducing the attack surface area or their vulnerability or susceptibility to such attacks.
This is where we have to draw the curtains on this discussion, but conversations like this need to be had. I mean, if not for AI or cybersecurity, but most importantly, so just raise your alarm about tighter securities tighter cybersecurity when it comes to our infrastructure. But once again, Allan
Juma,
thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate you for doing this with us.
Thank you, Allan.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.